This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com and GatheringMagic.com, your place to explore the game.
Well, I'm Chris, EDH Ghosts on Twitter, and this is my Selenia, the Dark Angel Commander deck. So starting with the Selenia Dark Angel deck, Selenia, and this was a proxy done by the proxy guy that I had made. Of course, I do have also the standard version, just in case everyone wants to see it. From there, we move to the basics. There's 15 planes. And then we have 11 swamps. Planes are a little bit heavier just because a lot of the angels lean more to the white side, so gotta skew the numbers a little bit to make sure you hit them. Next up, Mistveil Plains. That way we can reoccur a lot of the stuff after it hits the graveyard. It's generally pretty active with, again, the angels being a little bit more white in nature. Bojuka Bog to take care of other graveyards, very important. Emeria the Sky Rune. In this deck, it's actually pretty easy to get to the 7 planes out on the field, so it's active quite often. Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx. Problem with an angel deck is, of course, that they're very expensive, so having something that can ramp them out a little bit quicker is very helpful. Homeward Path, nothing worse than getting hit with your own angels. Vault of the Archangel gives us a little bit of life-linking reach, and of course the Death Touch is relevant a lot of the time. Temple of the False Gods, again, just to make sure we can get them out quick enough. Command Tower, make sure that we have the mana we need available. 2 colors, not too bad, but some of the angels have multiple pips in their casting costs. For the duels, we have Isolated Chapel, Tainted Field, Orzhov Basilica, and Godless Shrine. Alright, so on to the creatures. A lot of the angels in the deck do various effects, which is what makes it so powerful. Angel, of course, destroys a permanent. Angelic Arbiter makes it so if they want to cast spells, they are not going to be casting creature or going to combat. Or if they're going to combat, they're not going to be moving their board along. Chancellor the Annex, you know, this is great if you hit it turn 1, otherwise it's a 5-6 beatdown that also will help you with the counters if they're coming towards you. So, Twilight Shepherd, again, another great angel to run. The Vigilance is actually one of the key parts to it, just because when you're swinging out, you need to have someone back, and then it can also, it's a great one to play after combat. If you lose a lot of angels, bring everything back. Serra Ascendant, not technically an angel, but the 1 mana lifelinker helps to kind of stabilize the board if you've, it's going to take some time to get up to your other angels. Admonition Angel, the landfall is really relevant on this, just because you can make sure to maintain control over the board while you're trying to, again, stabilize. Deathpact Angel, honestly, never played this yet in the deck. You know, putting the 1 out and being able to recur could be useful in some decks. Otherwise, it's just a 5/5 flying angel. Baneslayer actually is a lot more relevant than I think people give it credit for because of the protection from demons and dragons. I find that oftentimes, you know, they'll be playing 1 or both of those types, and so it gets in for quite a bit of damage. Deathless Angel, with enough white mana open, you can move it around and make sure that you have some indestructible creatures. Works well with board wipes and also just in combat. Emeria Angel, again, the landfall, you know, this is a 4 casting cost. We can get some 1/1 white birds out there to kind of keep us from losing 2 in the early game to get to the more expensive angels. Sublime Archangel, you know, late game, this is great. Early game, it can use a lot of the 1/1 type tokens to really stabilize and put some pressure on, but late game this is definitely one of the finishers. Angel of Dire Hour is actually one of the all-stars of the deck. Played her twice now, and once I exiled over 100 tokens, really flipped the game in my favor, and the last time she was played, removed a lot of legendary creatures that would have taken me out of the game. Angel and Finality, just more graveyard control. I find that you can never have enough in EDH. Angel Jubilation, it's kind of a non-bow with the black creatures. You don't get that benefit, but them not being able to pay life or sacrifice creatures is very helpful. Sunblast, just a wrath on a stick, works pretty well. Magister of Worth, puts a little bit of politics back in the game, so it's pretty fun to get that out and see what happens. Reya, a little bit more recursion, definitely something that the deck needs. A lot of people will target the angels because they are such a threat, and just being able to bring them back every turn is nice. Requiem Angel, again, you'll see the 1/1 white spirits. If something's going to clear the board, at least you can pull a few more out, or if it's targeted removal, again, just to keep yourself from those big swings. Avacyn Guardian Angel is another one that I still haven't got to pull out in the deck, but again, another flying vigilant angel that has some abilities if you don't have any cards to play, that will keep combat math a little bit different for people. Angelic Skirmisher, this one I like because of all the options it gives you. You can kind of tailor it to whatever you need at the current point in time. Chroma, Angel of Wrath. Angel deck wouldn't be complete without having a Chroma in there, and she does really, really well in this deck as well. Archangel of Thune. There's definitely a little bit of lifelink theme throughout the deck, and this definitely helps with the counters as well. So, you're just going to grow your force and make sure that you can take people out without losing that late game. Herald of War. This is a new addition to the deck, but again, with the counters, they really add up in it. I hesitated putting a 3/3 in there, but again, that one less to cast for each counter on there really, really pays the dividends, especially in the late game. Seraph of the Sword. This is one that you can just keep sending in, and they have to either find an answer for it or continue to have flyers that can block it. Blinding Angel is one that is kind of nice when you're behind. If you can get any damage in there to a player that's being a little bit more aggressive, then that means that they won't be able to swing back. The Valkyrie, again, another vigilant creature, which really helps. And then again, you can return or recur creatures back from your graveyard that you lose. Avacyn, everything being indestructible is hard to beat. Aegis Angel works really well to just make sure that if you don't have Avacyn out, whatever your main threat is can't be removed that easily. Victory's Herald. This is again with that lifelink part of the deck. It is a little small at 4/4 for 6, but if you don't have lifelink out, this can really add to it. Radiant Archangel. It gets really big fast, especially when you're talking about playing a deck that has a lot of angels on it. So it's one of those that you can put out there and can grow pretty large pretty quickly. And this is Archangel of Tithes, brand new to the deck, so we're going to see kind of how she changes the combat math with them attacking, and I'll report back with how she does. Weathered Wayfarer, one of the other non-angel creatures in here. There's not many of them. One thing is with again all these expensive angels, you need to be able to cycle lands pretty quickly to make sure that you're gonna keep ahead on the board. This is more into our ramp side of it now. Cage Sun does well to ramp them up. You're generally going to choose white. Again, most of the creatures are going to lean that direction. +1/+1's nice, but it's really for that doubling. Urza's Incubator, you know, you choose angels, of course, and all of them are 2 less to play. That's a great start. Gilded Lotus, just 3 mana, colored mana. Soul Ring, and Thran Dynamo. And last, Expedition Map, searching out the land that you need. Debtors Know, again for that recursion piece, when they're being targeted, you just want to make sure you can get them back. Okay, now we're kind of into the card draw side of the deck. For Phyrexian Arena, of course. Karmic Guide, it is an angel and can bring cards back, so gives you a little bit of card advantage there. Phyrexian Reclamation, you know, pay 2 life to return a target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. It's pretty relevant. You're often going to be able to find a creature to return. Erebos is again another one of the non-angel creatures. I took Greed out for Erebos just because Erebos can become a creature and actually play a little bit more. Plus your opponents can't gain life, so it's a little bit better. And Demonic Tutor. I don't play with a ton of tutors, but Demonic Tutor, it definitely helps you find the right answer at the right time. This next section is more the answer piece. We start off with Mass Calify, destroy all non-white creatures. Generally leaves our board intact while we're removing others. Other End, I like to play with exile effects, so Other End fits that perfectly. For 4 mana, it's any non-land permanent. Gravepack, you know, does well, especially when people keep hitting your creatures for removal. You know, works to kind of keep them in check. With our recursion, generally we can get ahead that way. The Veneral's Disc works really well with Avacyn out. Otherwise, again, just a simple board reset. Austere Command, you know, pretty common in EDH decks just because it gives you so many different options. Dictate of Erebos, you know, goes right in there with Gravepact. Why wouldn't you play Dictate if you're playing Gravepact? Merciless Eviction, again, I like the exile piece and being able to find that group that's really killing you and being able to exile them. The one I found on this most relevant is Planeswalkers because I have less ways to deal with Planeswalkers. Martyr's Bond, just another taking care of their stuff if they're hitting ours. Swords to Plowshares, exiling again. Unmake, another exile effect. Mortify, not exile, but definitely getting rid of enchantments is pretty important. Wrath of God, it's always nice that they can't regenerate them after you swipe them the board. Return to Dust, double exile for enchantments or artifacts, always a great card. Path to Exile, you know, lands. Late game doesn't really hurt. Early game, I try not to use Path as much as maybe Swords to Plowshares. Swiftfoot Boots, this is really one just to kind of protect your biggest threat at the time. If your commander goes out, it's not as big of a deal, but definitely whichever your biggest threat is. Last two are more on the counter-based. Moon Silver Spear is something to get out there just to start generating some angel tokens. And last, Luminarch Ascension. You know, early game, it's backbreaking. If you can protect it even mid-late game, it can still be very, very effective. All right, and that is the deck. Thanks for watching CMDR Decks. Please subscribe and favorite.